Hey there, this is Dan from Virtual World Dynamics, and in this session we're going to take a look at what we need to do to reload a DAZ Studio scene that contains VWD elements. Because VWD items saved in a DAZ Studio scene will not retain their materials, and because the animation sequences from a VWD session are stored in the VWD environment, not in the DAZ Studio environment, when reloading a DAZ Studio scene that contains these VWD items, you must reapply the original materials and any animation sequences, if you have them, to the VWD items before rendering and continued work. So what we're going to do in this session is, assuming that you're still in a VWD session and you've completed a simulation and you wish to save it for further work or rendering, well, you'll send the results to DAZ Studio, then return to DAZ Studio, save the scene, and close DS. This is what you might do if you leave a project and come back later. Next, you'll reopen DAZ Studio, reopen the save scene, noticing that the materials and the animations are not as they were when you closed the scene and saved it. So what you need to do is open VWD, use the VWD utility to reapply the materials from the VWD environment, and then you'll close VWD, go back to your host application, and you'll render and continue operating normally. Using our sphere and plane test scene, the plane is a cloth, the sphere is a collision item. We'll run our simulation. This is just a basic simulation. Wait till we're happy with it. We'll go ahead and send that pose to the host. After the animation, you'll send the animation to host and VWD will end on its own, throwing you back to your host application. But let's go ahead and shrink the scene viewer. Take a look at DAZ Studio and you can see that the draped cloth is now in DAZ Studio as you'd expect it to be. And we can close VWD. Returning to DAZ Studio, you'll notice things look pretty much like you'd expect them to look, ready for rendering. But let's go ahead and save the scene. I'll name it something different. Well, the rub is when you come back to your VWD scene and you reload it, the materials and any animations that might be part of it are not available to you in that scene. The remedy is pretty simple though. Assuming you haven't cleared out your VWD exchange files, start VWD, go down to the Utilities tab, press the Restore DAZ Mats and Anims button, and your materials and animations should be restored back to DAZ Studio. You can close VWD, you don't have to import anything, just simply start it, press the button, exit it, and you're ready to render and move forward with your workflow. I hope this helped.